Board of Supervisors, and other citizens of Shasta County. My name is Nathan Blaze. I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force and a chef at a local restaurant. I've lived in Shasta County for over 20 years of my life, and I'm here today to address the recall against 3 of our supervisors. As I look around this room, it feels like I've walked into the Raiders locker room wearing a Broncos jersey. That my way or the highway attitude is the current demeanor of many of the people in this chamber, people who are not willing to toe the line for their fellow man because they think it somehow tramples on their own rights. People who would rather willingly resort to violence rather than endure a slight hardship for the greater good. These people call themselves lions, patriots, Christians, but they are not lions. They are sheep. Sheep that have allowed themselves to believe conspiracy theories, bogus news, memes, and their uncle on Facebook with the profile picture of a skull wearing sunglasses. This recall is the equivalent of when I was a kid and I knew I was about to lose at Monopoly, so I flipped the table and ran crying to my bedroom. This is a tantrum. Now, aside from letting Miss Rickard's poor son starve on the streets of Chico, I believe that your reason for this recall is an alleged misuse of tax dollars. Am I correct? If that is indeed the case, first off, please show some proof. Second, according to Record Searchlight, pushing forward a special recall election will cost Shasta County taxpayers between $200,000 and $400,000. That doesn't make any sense to me. If you're upset about misuse of tax dollars, why waste tax dollars to fix a so-called problem? I call that an oxymoron. It seems pretty clear to me that the underlying intent here is to use this misuse of funds narrative as the Trojan horse to replace the less conservative supervisors with members of the newly formed Patriot Party, aka Red, White, and Boomhauer. What I ask the people is that you give up this quixotic, Dunning-Kruger effect of a crusade, get back to your families, your businesses, and your lives. You guys are teachers, nurses, small business owners, fishermen, truckers, construction workers, public servants, for Christ's sake. You're not warriors. You're regular people from a small town where nothing ever happens. Lastly, if you want a seat on this board of supervisors or any other public office, then why don't you start a campaign and win a fair election like they did? And I happen to bring this. He's not here today, but I brought this box of crayons for Vladislav Davidson to write his next speech.
And I don't remember exactly what words were exchanged here. I think we were telling them to get the fuck out of here. And then Elizabeth grabs me. My coworker pulls me away. Chris opens the door. Boom. Haymaker.
Let's fucking run. Fucking run, bitch. Go ahead.
I'm gonna hit you. No, I'm smart. I'm not hitting no woman. I'm not getting baited into that.
I'm gonna kick them out for the day, and I gotta kick everybody out for the day.
Dude, I've just been here. I just didn't even fight back. I'm not hitting no woman. That's a trap. I'm not hitting no girl. That's a trap. I ain't going to fucking jail. Call me a bitch. Yeah, I'm not gonna hit a girl. I'm literally running from this girl, filming the whole thing, and she is losing her fucking mind. I don't even know her name. I don't even know this girl's name. Yeah, I don't even know you. What are you doing? Get off of me. Get off of me. Get away from me. Can someone stop her?
When you talk shit, you hit, man.
Yeah, that's how the world works, right? This is gonna play great for you in court later. Okay, so I'll talk about that video that happened at the Tropics where that crazy fucking tweaker bitch attacks me. So, there's this little tiny lawn gnome douchebag named Travis Gendro. I don't even know how to say his fucking name. I've never known because he goes by T. So creative. So T is Phil Adams' best friend. So Travis and I have never actually had like a personal beef, but he's always had Phil's back. So that means we've always been on opposite sides. Tried to start issues with me multiple times. Like he'll just randomly talk shit to me out of nowhere. And so I'm like, you fucking bearded moron, what the fuck is wrong with you? And so like one day he's talking shit to me, like this is like a couple of years ago now. He had this profile picture that was like, it was like his arms out, you know, and he had a red hat on and his fucking beard and sunglasses, and like all I fucking saw was a goddamn lawn gnome in that picture. So I just took it and cropped it and made his beard longer and made his hat pointy, and then like I posted it and I was like, I'll be goddamned if I let a fucking lawn gnome talk to me like this. And it got hella shares and likes, and people were like, oh my god, that fucking meme you made about T was hilarious. I fucking hate that guy. So many people said that. Fast forward a lot now. T's also fucking buddies with Carlos on Facebook. They support all the same shit. And they fucking know each other. So I'm at the Tropics just literally chilling, like minding my own fucking business out in the parking lot smoking with my friend. T pulls up, you know, in the parking lot and gets out of his car with that chick. I forget Catherine something now because I learned that after, but I didn't know her. I've never seen her before in my fucking life. I've never talked to her. I've never fucking met her. And so T starts with the fucking, then he's like, hey, let's just square up in the parking lot. And I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna fight you. Like, why would I fight you? Like, are you really just mad about the fucking meme thing? Come on, man, get over it. And then his chick starts piping in. That fucking tweaker chick starts piping in. She's like, kick his ass, T. You know, and I'm like, what? Who are you? And then finally we somehow get on the subject of criminal records. I'm like, bitch, my criminal record is so fucking small, it could fit between that gap in your fucking teeth. And so like that pissed her off, and she like popped up, and then like Tyrann T came out of the fucking gate area, but she like was definitely ahead of T, and she's like running at me. So I ran off because I'm like, dude, I'm not getting into a fight with a fucking girl and this little fucking lawn gnome. Like, hell no, that's 2 hate crimes in one. You can't fucking fight. You can't hit a girl and a lawn gnome in the same crime. All right. I will just never hear the end of it. So I run away, right? And as soon as I get far enough away for where her shitty flip-flops pop off, I pull my phone out and I start recording. And so that's where the video begins. Dodge, duck, dip, diving, and dodging, and trying to get away from her fucking craziness. And so like I finally get up past them, and then I'm out in the front of the bar, and she starts running at me. So that's when I open the door, and I fucking, dude, she slammed into that door. Like I didn't hit her with the door. I just opened the door to get inside the bar, but it was like, bah, she smacked that fucking door, all right? And like, she definitely deserved it. So I go inside, and I'm still filming. I'm like, I don't know this chick. Who is this fucking person? She fucking snuck up through the back. Like, she got me pretty good. Like, I didn't see her. I was paying attention to the front door. She came in the side entrance and like snuck on me because she still had her fucking, like, she didn't have her shitty flip-flops on still, so she was fucking quiet, dude. She was quiet as a fucking mouse. And so I didn't hear her coming. And then so at the last second I see her, and that's when I dodge the bitch, and then she fucking flies over and goes face first right into the back of that bar seat. Holy shit balls. Watching that video again later, that really looked like it had to hurt. And so I dodged that again too, fucking dabbed on her ass, and then skeetled out from under it, and then she's chasing me through the bar. Yeah, no, dude, I've been waiting to post that video for so long.
I know the Brown Act very well, and your conversation is legal, even if it's offensive.
Yeah.
Probably the only time that I would stop language on purpose again, and my apology if I did that on a knee-jerk reaction, would be the man that calls up and uses, in my mind, a racist, profane comment regarding those of color. I consider it to be extremely racist, and I would be the first person to mute his mic and have him removed if he wanted to continue that, not on my watch. Welcome, Mr. Blaze.
Hey there, Mr. Baugh. So I actually came down because I was watching online, and I saw a comment that you made, and I wanted to come down and specifically thank you for your comment against disparaging comments towards people of color and things like that. I'm legitimately here right now personally thanking you for that, Mr. Baugh, and I appreciate you saying that. And I wanted to just kind of just say that I know that I disagree with a lot of you. We don't agree on so many things. But one thing that a lot of us have in common is we're from Shasta County. I'm from here. I'm not from Portland. I'm not an Antifa. Like, I did 4-H in Fall River High School. Like, I sold pigs up at the Intermountain Fair. Like, I'm from here. Like, I grew up with the Bidwells and the MacArthurs. I played in the Fall River High School band. I'm from here, okay? And I know we don't agree on everything, and I say things that are volatile and toxic, and I guess that's just sort of a defense mechanism that I have for going against the things that I feel are attacking me. And I know that I may be wrong when I say a lot of those things. But recently, I've been able to make peace, and I would say even friends, with not only Carlos Zapata, Liz Bailey, Christopher Meyer, the 3 people that were involved in that incident that happened. I've recently been to the Palomino room in Red Bluff, where Carlos hosted me, bought my drinks. You know, we were able to find a common ground again, even after all of that, the 30, 40 news articles highlighting all the crap that happened that shouldn't have happened, that probably wouldn't have gotten that big if we just were able to get together and work it out and be people in this community that have differences but still live here. I bought Liz Bailey a shot on her birthday. You know, it's just, I don't hate you guys. You know, I hope you don't hate me. I hate that how charged and how divided things have become. How the media on both sides, everything everything is designed to divide us and to make us fight for things that we don't honestly actually fully believe in, but we just fight for them because it's our thing to fight for. It's on our side. It's the things we have to fight for. I'm sorry. I just want to come down and say thank you, Mr. Baugh, for that comment. That really did honestly mean a lot to me. And I just hope that we can all in Shasta County find a place where we can find some politicians that we all agree on. I'd like to shout out Barron Browning for being the only politician right now that it seems like I see people on both sides actually voting for or agreeing with. I know not everybody, but I don't see other politicians that are being liked by both sides that much. Anyways, that's not why I'm here. It's just the only politician that is liked by both sides, and I think that's something that we should pay attention to, is if there's a politician that is well respected by both sides, that's an important thing. Anyways.
Well, Nathan, hang on there for a second, and I gave you extra time, and are you?
Yeah, I'm done.
I just want to make sure
yeah.
before I commented. I receive your comments with great respect, and I know we've had differences of opinion. But if there's any possibility of this community healing, it will take a lot more people like you to step forward and say, I'm trying something different. And I would tell you, I'm trying something different as well. And if there are faults in what I do, it's because I'm a human and I'm not perfect, but I will apologize for them if they come up. So I will make a new effort to respect what you've done here today as well. And I appreciate you taking the time to make the comments. I need everybody to hear in this room and who's listening, everyone is welcome here. You don't have to come here agreeing on your comments. This is an open forum for people who reside in Shasta County and outside of the county if they want to come talk. Your comments are welcome. We appreciate they're done with respect and try to honor the other person. But everyone, differences of opinion, are encouraged to speak here, and you'll be received well by this board. So thank you.
And he went to Fall River High School.
We won't hold that against him, Mary.
You must have went to Bernie.
Right there. Thank you, Mr. Blaze.
Buford White, down here at the Shasta County Elections Office. I'm gonna find me some corruption, because I can smell it. According to these CVS receipts, it looks like we're winning. But for some reason, the news media keep saying that we're losing. So I'm gonna take a closer look. I just know there's corruption here somewhere. I'm gonna check this whole damn building for corruption. Damn it. Got the old magnifying glass. I'm checking every corner of this damn building for corruption. You better believe it. I'm not letting anything get by me. Not today, not again. You ain't gonna do it again, Dominion. Not this time. Buford White is gonna find the corruption. I can smell it. Check this out. If there ain't corruption in that ballot box, then I'm a complete idiot. Listen, I know that there's corruption here. I'm gonna go check my trail cam in the back of the building. We're gonna go see what's really going on. So I'm at the back of the building here, and someone took my damn trail cam. How the hell are we supposed to see the corruption if they're taking our trail cams? God damn it! I think I might see some ballots in here. Just toilet paper. I'm gonna find that corruption. I can smell it. It smells like corruption.
Dude, the gate's open.
What? What's that?
The gate is open.
Oh, my bad. I've been out here in this hot sun all damn day searching high and low. There's corruption out here. I can smell it, but I can't find it. But I will stay vigilant.
Morning, supervisors. I will try to do my best to speak over the voices in Lori Bridgeford's head. All right. Many of the people in this room, including Supervisor Les Baugh, were very quick to believe recall leader Carlos Zapata and his associates' side of the story with what happened with me in my workplace. I now feel a sense of vindication in light of the recent news from the DA deciding to file charges against my attackers, including a battery charge against Carlos Zapata. It has been a very trying several weeks, the hatred I've received being publicly crucified in this very chamber by the Tweedle twins back there, and again Mr. Baugh's description of the RPD press release, which he falsely referred to as the police report on his social media. The gentleman earlier said it best. If it isn't true, official authorities shouldn't put it in writing for the public to read. I now hope that these very necessary charges stick and justice is carried forward. It is sad to me that no one from the recall group has made a peep about the deaf elderly veteran that was severely beaten by recall supporters over the weekend. Is it because of who the attack points back to? Is it because it gives validity to my situation? Or is it simply because anti-masking, anti-vaxxing recallers don't give a damn about the elderly, as they have proved for the last year and a half by not following COVID mandates? Lastly, Mr. Jones, I would like to ask you, when Carlos Zapata turned in his legally registered firearm to Jones Fort, did he bring it to Jones Fort, or did you drive out to his ranchette and pick that up?
I will answer you, but I really don't like. I consider you a domestic terrorist. You've taken part of the Seattle riots, so I'm not going to answer that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Excuse me.
That's what I consider you.
Gentlemen.
That's what I consider you.
Gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Jones, for your comments. Sir, do you have anything else you'd like to share with us today?
That's it, other than that you two are very unprofessional. Yeah.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
I don't hate you, man. You know, I think you're up here doing your best, but you cannot walk into a new house and act like you're the backbone. You know, you have not yet proved yourself as a supervisor to the community to be kind of acting the way you're acting, strong-arming the other supervisors. And I get your charisma. I get it. I get you. I don't think you actually want bad things for this county, you know, but just sort of tone it down a little bit. You know, even Mr. Garman has been here longer than you, and it kind of feels like you're sort of trying to strong arm him into, you know, seconding your motion. But listen to him, you know, listen to him. Listen to Mary. They've got experience, you know. Patrick Jones, Chris Kellstrom, I have nothing good to say about you, but listen to Ruben Cruz. You know, he's been doing this for a long time. Actually take what they say into consideration, because I think that with your charisma and the way you are obviously passionate about this job, just sitting over here watching you, I'm seeing sort of like, and I hate him, but sort of Donald Trump vibes, you know? But like, don't take that type of charisma and use it for the wrong thing. If you have that type of charisma, use it for the right thing. And then you could probably be one of the better supervisors we've ever had. Listen to Mary. Listen to Mary. And listen to Tim Garman. And you guys, I hear you guys all out there complaining about Tim Garman now. You guys all voted Leonard Modi out for him. So that was your choice, all right? You guys did that, so stop complaining. Anyways, just try to tone it down a little bit and just keep doing your best and try to keep what Shasta County needs at the forefront of what you have to say. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. I'll speak on this part about you mentioned being strong-armed into my second. I did mention that I would support that, so I'm not strong-armed into that. My idea with that is I'll give Supervisor Cry some time to come up to speed.
It just felt like
must
you
down
were
the
sort
road,
of
I probably
pressured
won't
into
second
saying
that.
what he wanted you to
Right
say.
now, I get that, but right now, I'll give him that. It's a learning curve, and he's on
Yeah.
that learning curve.
Right.
And we're going to support that.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, and Dodgers, man, they got to figure it out. Dodgers are killing it. Anyway.
That's not wrong.
All right, next up.
First of all, Patrick Jones, I did not write Pinckney on my card. I wrote Blaze. So I see that little intimidation tactic you put there. But I'm going to talk a lot more about that and you in open comment. Second, since she was allowed to say what she said, I'm going to say this. Patty Plum, that was a horribly racist and terrible thing to say, and I'm going to make you famous for those words. And to John Dutton sitting next to her, who calls himself a constitutional Republican, you clearly don't understand the Constitution because it does not talk about your Christian Bible or Jesus. It speaks of freedom of religion, all of religions. So you guys muddy those waters all the time, and you're wrong about that. Okay, to this issue here. Hey, come on. You guys, you're talking about not wanting to take money from an outside source. Jenny already beat me to this. 4 of you are sitting up there because of billionaires, a billionaire's money from Connecticut. That's why the 4 of you are sitting there right now. You would not be sitting in those seats if you had not all accepted that campaign money, and all of you had not accepted them accepting that campaign money. So don't tell me you care about that when you don't actually care about it. It just doesn't. You just feel like it's from the opposite side, so you're going to fight it. But you guys did the same thing, except when we get the money, guess what? We're not going to spend it on buying politicians. We're going to spend it on better infrastructure to make the elections office more viable and more important and safer for everybody to be able to witness the process of voting in Shasta County. So quit with your BS.
Thank you, Nathan.
Hello. First of all, Mr. Garman and Mr. Cry, I want to clarify that I don't believe that your vote is currently for sale. I was only implying that there was money that helped you earn the seats that you have right now, but I don't believe that your vote, you three's vote, is currently for sale. So let me ask you a question, right? Maybe you, Mr. Jones. If you owned a Lamborghini, right, and then Fox News told you can't trust your Lamborghini, would you trade your Lamborghini for a clown car? Then why are you going to do that to our voting systems? Like, we have something good already. And the whole basis of we shouldn't even be discussing this right now. This is ridiculous. This is based off of disinformation from Fox News. Like, the main victims of what your ideologies are people like Patty Plum and John Dutton next to her, because they actually believe your crap. We don't. Our side does not believe your crap, which is why we're all here. You are making it so that our voting system is going to be worse. You don't switch from technology back to no technology when the technology works just fine. There has been no proven cases of Dominion voter fraud, none of this stuff. That dude that was just up here clearly doesn't know anything about technology or internet, because that is not how any of that stuff works. You can't do this, dude. Like, this can't be your platform. This can't be your platform. And I really wish that Chris Gelstrom had a mind of his own and wasn't just your lackey supporting you in this. Because it's all he is. It's so obvious. That's all he is. You know? He's just sitting up there doing nothing, saying nothing, waiting to vote on whatever you say to vote for. So, please don't do this. I know you won't listen, but please don't.
And we'll be taking a break right after this speaker. It'll be 15 minutes.
Patrick Jones, did you purposely put R13 that far below R4 on purpose? Like, did you make that decision? That's got to be a yes. Okay, so that little piece of paper you have saying that there has been Russian interference with the Dominion voting machines, right? That you have some sort of proof in your mind that the Russians have been able to hack into Dominion voting machines. But we've just heard from Kathy Darling Allen and the deputy, I'm sorry, I can't remember what her title was, but I know she's a lot higher ranking than you are. And they both explained to us that these machines are not connected to the internet. So do you know how hacking works? There has to be a connection via internet to be able to remotely access a computer. Okay? So what you're saying right now is that our Shasta County voting machines are at risk of being tampered with by Russian influences. How big is the Russian community in Shasta County? I mean, if there were Russian influencers trying to hack these Dominion voting machines, they would have to physically have access to these machines to do anything to them. So what you're saying is that you are afraid of Russians being able to break into the Shasta County clerk's office and physically hack these computers without being seen, or being like just so sneaky like they're ninjas, all right? And so here's what I would say. Maybe if you were so afraid of Russians breaking into our Shasta County clerk's office, maybe you should buy them a better building to protect them from these alleged Russian hackers.
Thank you, Nathan. Tina Kennedy, and then Lisa.
Okay, first of all, Patrick Jones, I'm not afraid of you, and your little hammer does not supersede my First Amendment. And if you ever try to use law enforcement to remove me from this building because you didn't like something I said, I will sue you into oblivion.
Good.
All right. Okay, I want to talk about the blatant power grab that has been going on in Shasta County ever since Patrick Jones was elected. It is obvious to most people, whether they have the honesty to admit it or not, that Patrick Jones has been orchestrating a takeover of Shasta County. He has violated the Brown Act, he has privately intimidated local residents, and he has blatantly lied to the people for years. His seat was earned through the money provided by a man who isn't even from here, but has simply had a chip on his shoulder against this county for a long time. He personally removed public safety measures from this building during a global pandemic that killed millions for the sole reason of grandstanding to his uneducated base, thereby putting his colleagues and us citizens in direct danger. Did you know that Patrick Jones openly supports the Cottonwood State Militia? Did you know that CSM is unregulated and therefore defined by law as a terrorist organization? Did you know that you cannot organize a group of 2 or more people with the intent of being a militia without the proper paperwork? They don't have that paperwork. The Second Amendment requires a well-regulated militia, and they are not that. Once in this exact same room, Patrick Jones publicly accused me of being a domestic terrorist, but as it turns out, Patrick is in fact a domestic terrorist himself. Why is it that every accusation from people like him is either a confession or an aspiration? Patrick Jones does not care at all about the safety of the citizens of this county. He is actively attempting to pass an open carry law while at the same time being the person who would likely profit most off of gun sales from his family business, Jones Fort. That sounds like a major conflict of interest. Patrick Jones is willing to put the citizens of Shasta County in mortal danger in order to make a profit. The last thing we need is people willing to intimidate citizens with threats of violence, walking around our city openly carrying firearms. We have law enforcement and a CCW program for that. This reign of ridiculousness needs to end. We have had no health officer for 299 days, and that is his fault. I fully believe at this point that the state should step in and take over. I believe that Gavin Newsom should reinstate Dr. Karen Ramstrom and offer her a larger salary and a huge apology for not stepping in sooner. I believe that Patrick Jones and his lackey Chris Kellstrom need to be removed from their positions and stripped of any ability to hold office ever again, as well as any other local politicians who clearly do not have the best interests of all of the citizens of Shasta County at the forefront of their decisions. You cleared the way for all of this with your slanderous recall of Leonard Modi and the blackmailing of Matt Pontes. You're like the architect of destruction, but what you really are is a sad, angry, vindictive old man with too much power. So I have one question for you. Do you still stand by your accusation of labeling me, a private citizen and long-life Shasta County resident, a domestic terrorist?
Thank you, Nathan.
Hey there, fellow patriots. This one here is for all my brothers and sisters that do not appreciate all these elections being stolen by the radical left and the Dominion voting systems. They gotta go. Yee-hoo! Blame it on Dominion, blame it on religion, blame it on the fact I have a jaded opinion.
Blame it on gas prices, on Joe Biden, on the avocados in my fridge that haven't ripened. Blame it on Fauci, oh God, how she blames it on the fact she woke up grouchy. Communist party, blame it on a Barbie. Can't read instructions, so I blame it on a Sharpie. You like to play the blame game, it's what we do. Life on a chain gang, Papa never went through. Out here screaming gang gang in this government room, and we'll show them bang bangs. If you tell us what to do, we'll pop them bang bangs. If you try to take my rights, we're God-fearing Christians, but we like to get in fights. J6 was a party, they say it was a riot, and even though I've seen the footage, I don't fucking buy it, no. There's no way I buy that. Who knows what BLM Antifa false flaggers could have been there. It could have been anybody. It definitely wasn't us God-fearing patriots. Blame it on Dominion, blame it on Clinton, blame it on the fact I have a jaded opinion. Blame it on gas prices, on Joe Biden, on the avocados in my fridge that haven't ripened. Blame it on Fauci, oh God, how she blames it on the fact she woke up grouchy. Communist party, blame it on a Barbie. Can't read instructions, so I blame it on a Sharpie. Squad went down to the elections office, knew something was wrong, so we had to go and stop it. Didn't see nothing even though we were watching, stalking and crowding all the workers like a mosh pit. Aw shit, just saw someone take a couple ballots, stuff them down his pants, but I caught it like a foul pitch. Why is the left always trying to steal my dreams? So I guess I'm still in one of these voting machines. I'm taking this with me. I don't care if it's illegal. I'm a patriot, and I need to know how these things work, and how they keep stealing our elections away from us God-fearing patriots. Blame it on Dominion, blame it on religion, blame it on the fact I have a jaded opinion. Blame it on gas prices, on Joe Biden, on the avocados in my fridge that haven't ripened. Blame it on Fauci, oh God, how she blames it on the fact she woke up grouchy. Communist party, blame it on a Barbie. Can't read instructions, so I blame it on a Sharpie. Those Sharpies, they did not tell us how to use them. I did not know that I had to circle in the circle and that I couldn't just put an X through it. They should have explained that better. God.
Good morning, supervisors. All right, it's one thing when the county uses our tax dollars for things we may not agree with. It's another thing when our money is being used to fund a plan that has the direct purpose of getting this county sued into bankruptcy. Imagine your kid asks you for $20. You don't ask them what for because you want to show that you trust them. Then you find out they spent it all on candy. You're likely to be disappointed and have a discussion with them about finances, but now imagine you found out that your kid not only accepted your $20, but then spent it on a knife that they then used to slash the tires of your car. That's how we the people feel about Kevin Cry's usage of county funds to go visit the My Pillow guy. It's a personal violation and a line has been crossed. The highly misinformed citizens in this room clearly don't understand the impossibility of the task of a fully hand-counted system in a county this size. According to our county clerk, who was elected by over 65%, the elections office already hand counts 1 to 10% of the ballots, and look how long certification already takes. Their delusion has them at the point of not even being able to see a fundamental flaw in their plan to eradicate voter fraud. Once again, this is the effect that Donald Trump via Fox News has had on this country. The fact of the matter is that the only option that won't get our county sued is to keep Dominion. That's the only fact that matters. I don't care if somewhere in Narnia, Dominion voting machines were somehow interfered with. It did not happen here. According to our county clerk and the Deputy Secretary of State of California, our local machines do not have internet access. And therefore, by clear logic and a modicum of understanding of modern technology, our machines can only be tampered with via physical access. Which would mean that someone would have to break into our elections office, find the machines, rip them open, find a way to physically connect to them. Then they'd have to install their hack. Once installed, they would now need a way to control it. Without the ability to control it, that would mean someone would have to have written a highly advanced algorithm to detect votes and somehow automatically change them to the desired target in Shasta County. Apparently, we're worthy of world-class hackers out here in chicken coop nowhere. Also, once the hack is installed, their programming would require them to self-delete all traces. Then whoever ripped apart the machines would apparently also need to be a hell of a handyman because they'd have to repair the damage to the machines as to go unnoticed. I seem to remember a recent meeting where the clerk's office allowed the public to have close-up, supervised access to these machines. I do not believe that Patrick or Chris attended this demonstration. However, Kevin did. All of this Mission Impossible 15 bullcrap would have to be done entirely without being seen by a single employee or the commercial-grade surveillance system installed on the building. This is one of the stupidest things any group of humans on this planet has ever thought could be possible. When extremists who are capable of believing the sci-fi fairy tale that I just spun for you start hand-counting your ballots and then see the ballot of someone they disagree with, do you really think they have the morality to not cheat at this point? Is your ballot even going to count if this happens? This board needs to rescind the Dominion decision today before we leave this room. The combination of disinformation from Fox News coupled with the money from Reverge on Selma has placed Shasta County squarely into the zone of a California state emergency.
Thank you, Nathan.
Okay, speaking of voting machines, as many of you know, today in court, Dominion Voting Systems settled with Fox News in their defamation lawsuit for a sum of $787,500,000, one of the largest lawsuits in U.S. history. Please keep in mind that this hearing was only to prove malice. A previous judge has already ruled that Fox News did in fact push lies about election fraud to the public. Fox News even admitted to lying in the courtroom today. The decision these three supervisors made was a direct result of that now proven disinformation. 111,000 Shasta County voters are now disenfranchised due to the disinformation-based decisions by these three supervisors. When they voted to cancel the Dominion contract, they directly went against 68% of the county's voters. Here is a short video of a recent podcast featuring Supervisor Kevin Cry.
And those are a lot of the questions, I'm asking, kind of like the Dominion vote. I didn't want to terminate it right before the election because that's a whole host of problems, especially since military ballots already went out. And I don't think there's any problem with our local elections, but it's a greater thing that I think the public, or I know the public, wants some answers on.
So I guess my question to you, Mr. Cry, is if you didn't find anything wrong with our local election systems, why did you vote to get rid of them?
This is your chance to comment.
I'll comment. You lost any chance of me commenting when you've emailed and harassed.
I didn't harass anybody. That's an accusation. You're not allowed to do that in your position. You know that, right? I'm telling you. That is not harassment
when you
whatsoever.
Harass.
I sent one email. That's not harassment. You can't accuse me of that. You're not allowed to do that. You just violated the terms of your position just now.
Absolutely not. I'm telling the truth. And the truth is, you're a spiteful, vengeful person that I've invited in to have conversations with.
You're just accusing me of stuff now, and I'm trying to bring the truth to you. See, you get flustered. You get angry. This is how you've been. I know a lot more about you than you think. And I wish that you had the integrity to be a good politician and do the right thing.
Thank God I'm not a good politician, because that's what got our country into this mess.
So, a little backstory. Kevin Cry was one of 3 Shasta County supervisors that voted to cancel our county's contract with Dominion Voting Systems. A couple things. No, the crowd was not clapping for him in his statement of, "Thank God I'm not a good politician." 80% of that crowd there was not in support of Kevin Cry. Right as I left the podium, he got his little 2 cents in, and they just were already about to clap for what I had already said. So, no, the majority of people there were not clapping for him. The other thing is that he accused me of harassing his clients. So Kevin Cry operates a talent agency where he represents athletes, artists, whatever. And after he made his decision to cancel the Dominion Voting Systems, I sent an email to his list of clients informing them of his political decisions. And then he violated the terms of his elected public position and accused me of something that I did not do, instead of answering my extremely valid question. What he did was what these MAGA people do anytime you call them out with truth. They deflect and then they hit you back with an ad hominem attack. What you just witnessed was a politician who was shown a video of himself saying that he doesn't believe there was anything wrong with our local election systems. And then this same politician voted to get rid of our election systems. My assumption is he made that choice based solely off of the disinformation from Fox News and pressure from Patrick Jones and his supporters. So Kevin,
Why don't you go ahead and cry me a river? Because I need to refill this. I can't wait to be the one who serves you your recall papers.
Thank God I'm not a good politician.
Hand count with going and registering with her. Are you kidding me? Also, we need to eliminate the mail-in. That needs to go away. That's where the corruption is, and their collaboration with the post office. Bring back traditional verified absentee ballots. Needs to happen. Full audit of every election. Every single election needs a full, comprehensive audit, because I don't trust it. I don't trust that my vote counts, period. Okay? It's not going to change until the door's unlocked. It won't change. I will not ever trust, take my picture, you guys, because that's the same intimidation that I'm talking about, but I will not be discouraged from you guys. Your threats, your intimidation, none of you. It's not going to work. I want to know, and I'd like to officially request that we find out if these paid employees from the county are being paid while they're at these intimidating meetings. There's not enough people like me that want to show up out here because of their tactics. Their tactics. I try to get people to come to this and they say, oh no, I'm good. I'm good. Well, that's ridiculous. I will not be discouraged.
Thank you, Rick. I wasn't going to speak during public comment. I was going to speak on C1, but so much has been said already that I just felt like I needed to. Fact of the matter is that these people only complain about voter fraud, problems with voting machines when they lose elections. When these people were voted in, there was no talk about voter fraud or election systems working improperly to call their own people's votes and elections into question. They just weren't talking about it then. It's only happening when they lose elections. And this guy wants to talk about intimidation. I seem to remember during the recall of Leonard Modi in this boardroom, many people on this side screaming insults and death threats towards this board of supervisors. I remember Vladislav Davidson screaming at Ms. Rickert that she was, pardon his head, is a whore. I remember a man standing at the podium in the middle saying that ropes are reusable and speaking of potentially lynching our county supervisors. So you want to talk about intimidation? It's my turn to speak, sir. What you're talking about is something that you guys have been doing this whole time, and now you don't like that people are standing up on the other side now. You know, what's happening is these people were afraid of you guys in the beginning, but because you guys have been so persistent with all of this crap for so long that we have all gone from the point of fear to anger. We are angry with this world and these decisions, and we are angry with your side and how you guys have been trying to get this county to operate for so long. And I want to bring up Chris Street. Did he really try to accuse Mary Rickert of being racist and that's why he didn't get the position? Is that not the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen? You guys know what he's doing, right? He's trying to build a case. He's trying to build a case so that he can sue for not getting the position because that's what he does. He has a record and a history of doing that. So whoever brought Chris Street here, I think I know who it was, that's going to be on you as well when he eventually does file another lawsuit against Shasta County. So, geez, quit with this election fraud crap because it's exactly what it is. I'm over it. We're all over it. The elections were fine. You guys got people elected. So did we. You're not going to win every election. Neither are we. Get over it.
Good evening. Welcome to the North States News at 5:30 on a terrific Tuesday. I'm Mike Mangus. Drama at the Shasta County Board of Supervisors meeting today when during public comment a man used the N-word and then someone was ejected from the chambers, but it wasn't him.
I'm not a fool. I'm not an and I want. That's right.
Shut up.
Make it.
Shut the hell up.
Please, from the chamber.
Get the hell out of here. You racist piece of shit.
We will have order in the room, Nathan.
I use the term for ignorance. Not.
Get out.
Shut up.
Get out.
Anyway.
Nathan, if you're gonna continue to break out, we will ask you to leave. You're disrupting the meeting.
The speaker, Alex Bilecki, immediately verbally confronted by Nathan Blaze, an African-American Air Force veteran who says this happened on Memorial Day. Using that word was condemned by at least 2 board members and other public speakers.
I want to go back to a comment that was made earlier. I want to apologize, hopefully on behalf of this entire board, for the language that was used. Racism sucks. There's no place for it in this day and age, and I am shocked when we heard it here today. And again, I apologize to each and every one in this room for what you heard.
We need to monitor what is being said in this boardroom, and if someone acts out, they need to be immediately, the microphone needs to be turned off, and they need to be asked to leave.
Well, the constitutional right of free speech is not unlimited. You can't yell fire in this crowded room, or it's disturbing the peace to use offensive words that are likely to result in a violent reaction. You know, that we don't tolerate that kind of language here. You should gavel that down and shut it down.
Bilecki was allowed to finish because Board Chair Patrick Jones says even though it may be abhorrent, it's a First Amendment right for anyone to say anything. Blaze, however, was escorted from the chambers for being disruptive.
Under our own county policies, what you cannot do is disrupt this meeting. And any loud outburst from the chamber floor is a disruption of the meeting, which is not allowed, and I will ask you to leave if you do so. These are the constitutional rights. If we respect everybody, again, you are doing it again, Mr. Blaze. Deputy, can we escort Mr. Blaze out of the room, please?
I spoke with him outside where he said he was trying to calm himself down.
Patrick Jones goes and defends his First Amendment right, basically says that if there's nothing wrong with him saying the N-word and using that type of hate speech, that type of rhetoric, and then I out of turn, spoke to Patrick Jones and said, so it's okay to use the N-word, but it's not okay for me to do what I'm doing right now is what you're saying. You're defending this man and his Nazi hate speech.
Finally, here are the rules, verbatim from the speaker request form. Each person who addresses the Board of Supervisors shall not use loud, threatening, profane, or abusive language which disrupts or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of the board meeting is prohibited. Now, Nathan Blaze told me this afternoon he's already contacted an attorney and is drafting letters to Shasta County, the grand jury, the ACLU, and the NAACP.
Nathan Blaze, followed by Malik.
First of all, Patrick, if you had also apologized for your own actions, I could have accepted that apology. But I do not. Patrick Jones hates me. This is clear for everyone to see. Last week, he allowed his personal hatred of me to shine brightly for the world to see. Many others in the room protested Alex Bilecki's usage of the N-word, a word he's uttered in this room on multiple occasions previously, and yet Patrick Jones did not tell anyone else specifically to keep quiet, and certainly did not attempt to use law enforcement to have them removed. Patrick Jones and people like him base a huge portion of their ideologies around a yellow and green flag that says, "Don't tread on me." That flag and statement was designed to let government know that they cannot use their power to suppress our rights as American citizens. That is exactly what Patrick did last Tuesday. He and others like him seem to believe that these principles only apply to certain Americans, but I'm 1,776% sure that this is not the case. Jones then spoke to Action News and stated that Nathan has been removed from this board chamber before for making criminal threats. Not only is this a provably blatant lie, it is the definition of defamation. He immediately contradicted this statement the next morning on the KCNR radio program with Carl Bott. During that interview, he lied and defamed me at least a dozen more times. He stated that I've incited violence. He stated more than once that I used the F word during that last meeting and have used it repeatedly within these chambers. Both of those statements are egregiously false. He stated that I was the worst offender during these meetings where I personally witnessed supporters of Jones hurl death threats at his fellow supervisors. Patrick's past defaming rhetoric about me has caused me exponential mental turmoil as other citizens in this county have parroted his false statements about me ever since. 2 years ago in this board chamber, Jones publicly and loudly labeled me a domestic terrorist after simply asking him a valid question regarding what happened at Market Street Blade and Barrel. He then went on to state that I had participated in the Seattle riots. I have never been a part of a riot in my life. During his radio interview with KCNR, after falsely stating that I'd used the F word, he compared its usage to the N word. The fact of the matter is even his lie is not a justification for its usage. These two words are on completely different levels, and there is no comparison whatsoever. Not a single soul has ever been impressed by the usage of the F word, whereas the N word has been used to disparage, alienate, and disenfranchise an entire group of African American citizens for hundreds of years. The fact that Jones would even think to make the comparison is further proof of his elite privilege, because the fact is there's no word in any language that can make people like him feel the way the N word makes African Americans feel. As even Karl Bott stated on his program, those are fighting words, and the First Amendment does not protect fighting words or language that could incite violence, as Patrick seems to think. Local law enforcement apparently also believes that Mr. Bilecki's speech was not protected, which is why they filed charges against him. Jones has made decision after decision using his power as a supervisor to find ways to personally enrich himself and those he ideologically agrees with, while simultaneously putting county citizens at direct risk of not only contracting a deadly disease, but being potentially shot in the head while driving down Highway 44 past his proposed gun range.
Please wrap it up.
I'm almost finished. He has blackmailed his coworkers and he has sent threats to local citizens. He has taken away the voting rights of 111,000 Shasta County citizens due to his unwavering willingness to believe and support disinformation. Jones told KCNR that his personal disdain for me did not affect his decision to remove me. I fully believe this to be false, as evidenced by the numerous examples of his past rhetoric disparaging and targeting me alone. The truth is that I was not the one who disrupted the meeting. Alex Bilecki was.
Hey, yeah. Try that in a small town. Yeah. Hey, Patrick Jones told me it's time to go. Bro in a wheelchair rolled up and said no. Bring a cop looking like he wanna throw. I wasn't scared, cause that nigga looking hella slow. He gave the order, but I didn't even care. They tried to make me leave, and that shit just wasn't fair. The homies crowded around, they was ready and prepared. Next time it's going down, I'ma bring my folding chair. Patrick Jones, he just punched his damn ticket. Tried to beat his chest, but the room was filled with crickets. Everybody fighting like the shit was an exhibit. I guess that's what happens when you interact with bigots. Rainbow shirts, crowded all around. They was not about to let this shit go down. They tried to get me cause my skin a little brown. Guess that's what happens when you try that in a small town. I ain't leaving. Nope, I ain't leaving. Please believe I ain't leaving. Nope, I ain't leaving. Nope, I ain't leaving. Nope, I ain't leaving. I ain't leaving. Please believe I ain't leaving. They couldn't get me out. The cops ain't even try. Patrick Jones looking like he's about to cry. He lost control when messing with the best. So like a little child, we sent his ass to recess. They try to act like I don't got rights. They try to act like I don't know how to fight. They try to act like my existence is a slight. They try and try, but they'll never put me out at night. Cause this is my town, bitch, I'm from here. Pair of bright headlights and Patrick is the fucking deer. And I believe I've already made it clear that these beer belly dipshits are something I don't fear. So gather round, kids, and heed my warning. Stay 10 toes down and always be recording. These bigots wanna fight, we can go pound for pound. Just remember that's what happens when you try that in a small town. Nope, I ain't leaving. I ain't leaving. Nope, I ain't leaving. Please believe I ain't leaving. Nope, I ain't leaving. I ain't leaving. I ain't leaving. Please believe I ain't leaving. Discrimination is real. People like Patrick Jones are the reason why we have so many problems in this world. So much hate, so much bigotry. People like him need to go. We need to get rid of the Patrick Joneses of this country. Nope, I ain't leaving. I ain't leaving. Nope, I ain't leaving. Please believe I ain't leaving. Nope, I ain't leaving. I'm never leaving. Nope, I ain't leaving. Please believe I'm never
Told you I'd walk my happy ass right back in that building.
The N-word spoken in the Shasta County Board of Supervisors chambers last week still reverberating throughout the community. The black man, known online as Nathan Blaze, was escorted from the chambers for being disruptive. He made a video, he says, 8 years ago, using that word repeatedly. Here's a quick, heavily edited look. It got the attention of Board Chair Patrick Jones, who had Blaze escorted out that day.
There is no room for racism in Shasta County. It's a disgusting word. Nathan should be ashamed of such a video. I'm at a loss of words as to why he feels it's acceptable to say it 6 times in a video. With all the things that have happened this week, he really should apologize for the use of that word.
Blaze says his video is a parody of a well-known rap song, and the N-word is acceptable within the black community.
In black culture, you can say the N-word in certain ways if you are black. And so what's ridiculous to me is the fact that Patrick Jones and his people are now digging this far into my past content to try to find anything that they can attack to continue to victim blame and try to make me the bad guy.
Filming a documentary to recall Leonard Modi in this building, but they find Mr. Garman wearing a t-shirt egregious. Seems a little hypocritical, doesn't it? Secondly, I live in District 2. If you guys try to get rid of Tim Garman, I promise you, I will run for that seat. So who do you want more, him or me? Because I will run for that seat. All right, so to the people like Patrick Jones and Nick Gardner that want me to say sorry, I came here to say sorry. Patrick, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your mama didn't raise you right. I'm sorry that you've allowed fear to take over your mind. I'm sorry that you have not allowed yourself to understand black culture. I'm sorry that you have been stuck in this bubble of alienation and disconnection from other kinds of people. I'm sorry that you think it's okay to spread disinformation, gaslight citizens, and blatantly lie to get your misguided points across. I'm sorry that our country is built on a system that allows dangerous people like you to make decisions that affect an entire community. I'm sorry that you aren't man enough to own your mistakes and truly apologize for them. I'm sorry that you think cosplaying as a founding father actually equates you to one of them. I'm sorry that your life has led you down a path where you think a black man using the N-word in a rap song is in any way comparable to a white man using it disparagingly in a government building. I'm sorry that you misinterpreted the Constitution in a way that fits your ideologies. I'm sorry that you can't comprehend how hurtful that word is when spoken by the wrong person. I'm sorry that you felt the need to defend its usage in that specific situation and then condemn it in another that aligns with your narrative. I'm sorry that you've clearly never heard a single rap song or listened to a black stand-up comic. I'm sorry that you've never been invited to a cookout or a sideshow or a block party. I'm sorry that you have such a small amount of integrity. I'm sorry that you have no compassion or empathy for people who are different than you. I'm sorry that you can't control your temper. I'm sorry that you've consistently abused your power for the purposes of retaliation. I'm sorry that you've allowed yourself to be used as a puppet by an out-of-town billionaire with a grudge against this county. I'm sorry that you prioritize your bottom line more than you prioritize the constituents that you were sworn to represent. I'm sorry that you are the chair of this board when it clearly should be Mary Rickert. I'm sorry that you were likely bullied as a kid and now feel the need to bully others instead of dealing with your own trauma and leaving other innocent people out of it. I'm sorry that you have made this county famous for being a cesspool of bigotry and disinformation. I'm sorry that the FBI hasn't checked your search history. I'm sorry that you somehow think that little wooden hammer makes your words more important than the words of the citizens who put you into this position. And lastly, I'm sorry that my beloved county was duped into allowing you to be the person who was tasked with fighting for their rights, livelihoods, and values because you clearly have forgotten that your oath included representing everyone in Shasta County, not just the ones who toe your line.
Thank you, Nathan. I accept your apology.
Okay, so first of all, I don't operate by making baseless accusations of conspiracy theories towards anybody on that panel. That's not what I'm about. I like facts, logic, people's own words and actions being presented to them, such as,
Thank God I'm not a good politician.
This to me is Kevin Cry's legacy. To me, it was very obvious today that he was attempting to grandstand towards the strikers in an attempt to save his own skin from the inevitable recall that is coming. So Last week, there was a gentleman who stated that he felt intimidated by the group currently recalling Kevin Cry. I was able to give a couple of examples of actual intimidation that was done by the Modi recall group, but during the week since the last meeting, I was able to think of many more examples. I know how these people think at this point, and I've been witnessing and personally dealing with their behavior since 2020, and I already know that more of them are going to start accusing us of being disrespectful or intimidating. So when you all inevitably do this, I want this list on record for comparison. Many of Mr. Modi's anti-recall signs were vandalized or destroyed. Red, White, and Blueprint even showcased one of his signs that had been split in half, essentially encouraging their viewers to do the same. Vladislav Davidson showed up to multiple meetings with the specific intention of brutally verbally assaulting Mary Rickert. Richard Gallardo attempted to arrest multiple supervisors and was himself escorted out of the board chambers by the sheriffs. Timothy Fairfield stated that bullets are expensive but ropes are reusable, implying that they should publicly execute our county elected officials. The recallers gathered en masse to display recall propaganda and loudly circulate hateful rhetoric about Leonard Modi. Many recallers were very rude and aggressive during the canvassing phase when interacting with citizens who were not in support of the recall. There were several reports of this. Red, White, and Blueprint made a highly edited and very misleading video that painted Mr. Modi in a much more negative light that did not reflect the truth of his behavior or character at the meetings. I had my personal information plastered all over the inner walls of this board chamber, an action allowed by the current board members who supported the recall. This was only days after being attacked by recall supporters at my place of work. I was then labeled domestic terrorist and accused of a crime which I did not commit by Supervisor Patrick Jones. These statements were met with loud applause from the recall supporters in the audience. Citizens like Lori Bridgeford, Rich and Eric Gallardo, Terry and Sally Raposa, Patty and Ron Plum, Venus Bontadelli, and Alyssa McEwen, and dozens of others relentlessly showed up week after week to hurl insults and accusations at the three supervisors. Lori Bridgeford spoke about me at approximately 17 out of 20-something meetings to speculate about my livelihood and mental health. On multiple occasions, she attempted to scare the immediate public by implying that I was carrying a gun at all times. She even went so far as to file a restraining order against me, which was wholly denied and especially confusing to the judge. When Mr. Modi was served his recall papers, there was very loud, obnoxious celebration and applause from the recallers. There was no class whatsoever. On multiple occasions, the recall supporters would all read a similar version of the same message, repeating the same phrases ad nauseum. Breaking into the BOS chambers when it was closed, and Patrick Jones tearing down the protective plexiglass in a disgusting display of grandstanding. Protesting the DA.
Thank you, Nathan.
There's so many more, though.
Yeah.
This list goes on and on. You sure you don't want to hear the rest?
Thank you, Nathan. Tim?
This list is posted on my social media. You can read the rest of it, and I'll leave this here for you guys so you can have a record of what they all did in the past.
Nathan, followed by Dan, followed by Tiffany P.
I just want to try something real quick. If you don't want this gun range, raise your hand. Wow. I don't think a single person has spoken in support of this so far, so that's pretty powerful to me. Let me put it this way. If Patrick Jones owned a chicken farm, how would it look if he tried to use his power to open a Kentucky Fried Chicken? That would be a pretty obvious conflict of interest, wouldn't it? That's what Patrick is doing. In case you somehow didn't know, Patrick Jones is the proprietor of Jones Fort Gun Shop. Just like the 2A open carry resolution, as well as his treatment of the UPEC workforce, this is yet another example of Patrick Jones proving that he does not care about the citizens of Shasta County. So much so that he apparently doesn't care if his new proposed source of personal income will put citizens directly in danger of being shot beyond the range, disrupting the daily peace of the nearby residents, displacing the local wild and farm life, causing potential fires in an area that is not easily evacuated, poisoning the ground and water with a constant peppering of lead and chemicals, as well as the many other things these folks here have mentioned. The last thing I want to mention was that County Council cleared Mr. Kellstrom of a conflict of interest. No offense, Mr. Council, but I'm not a lawyer, but I disagree. He downplayed his relationship with Patrick Jones. I have heard them say with their own words that they have been best friends since the second grade on the RWB podcast. They are not work buddies. They are drinking buddies. A public official should not be voting on county items that would directly benefit a best friend since second grade. Thank you. I just have a couple quick things. You guys know what a bad faith argument is? Logical fallacies, things like that. I just want to address the lady that mentioned Kathy Darling Allen getting $41,000 as if that's somehow enough money to solve their needs. They're asking for millions of dollars. So when they bring up stuff like that, that's called a false equivocation, and it's literally just a bad faith argument. The thing about the UPEC I want to say is this ad hoc vote. Am I the only one that thinks that if it's anybody on this committee other than Mary and Tim, that nothing's going to happen? Like, what are you going to put Chris Kellstrom and Patrick Jones and Kevin Cry on this committee, and they're going to do anything differently than what they've been doing this whole time? That doesn't make any sense to me. It seems like it's going to be another waste of time unless our two actual responsible supervisors are the ones that are liaisoning with the UPEC people. Okay. During his radio program on KCNR last week, Supervisor Cry stated that doing a special election to recall him would cost the county well over $1 million, probably $1.5 million.
Hypocrisy of the whole thing to me is it's going to cost Shasta County well over $1 million, probably $1.5 million to do that special election.
Now that might be true if we did the election the way these folks did the Modi recall. After speaking with an individual at the county elections office, it was explained to me that the November election is already a special election because in 2011 they did away with odd year elections in Shasta County. The special election in November is because of Gateway and is already happening. The goal of the recallers is to add this onto that already existing ballot. When they did the recall of Leonard Modi, there were no other elections already happening, which is why it was a complete waste of county tax dollars. Also, Patrick Jones could stack the vote in his favor. It was also confirmed that even the standalone special election of Leonard Modi didn't even cost anywhere near that $1.5 million that Kevin Cry had stated. The recall of Leonard Modi cost the county a total of $750,752. So I have no idea where he got that number because I was also told that Mr. Cry has never requested any cost estimations from the elections office. I believe he threw out this made-up number to mislead the people of Shasta County and sow fear through disinformation. And let me remind you that that cost of $750K was for a standalone election. Adding the recall to the November ballot will cost the county some money in short term, but again, well under what it cost to recall Leonard Modi out of nowhere. And in the long term, we have the opportunity to get rid of someone who is perfectly willing to spend taxpayer money on arcade games and cross-country trips to visit someone who is being sued for over $1 billion for election disinformation. However, none of these costs even come close to what it will cost the county to do a fully hand-counted system. When I heard him say this on the radio, I sent him a Facebook message telling him that he had just lied to the people of Shasta County. He then blocked me. This is a little off topic to the election stuff, but I find that interesting as well, seeing as how the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals recently ruled in Garnier versus O'Connor-Ratcliffe that public officials violated their constituents' First Amendment rights by blocking them from the public officials' social media accounts that were used for official duties. It seems Mr. Cry has a hard time not only stating but also hearing the truth. This recall is not just the vile left attacking his values, as he so snowflakishly put it. It is a healthy mix of Republicans, Democrats, and independents. After all, this is Shasta County, so I don't know how he thinks there are even enough vile left Democrats here to even accomplish this without bipartisan support. The people of District 1 simply want a more honest and responsible person governing them and what happens with their tax dollars. You don't just get to say everything is a witch hunt. Help us take our county back to sanity by recalling Kevin Cry this November. If you want more information, please visit www.recallkevincry.org.
Thank you, Nathan. Don.
All right, I didn't write anything for this. It's my birthday today, but I'm so passionate about our local politics that I still decided to come down here and call you a coward, Mr. Jones, to your face, staring right at you, because that's what you are. You're a coward. You are a big, fat coward, because you refused my offer to an actual debate discussion on the underlying issues that cause the differences in our, that we have between us. I was legitimate about that, a moderated debate, even in one of your own platforms, your own forums, no personal attacks, a real actual debate. And then you tell the news that you won't spare 2 seconds of your time outside of this board meeting. Here's the thing, you've already spared a lot of your time outside of this board meeting discussing me. You've been on podcasts, you've been on news interviews, you've been on radio programs, but I'm not there to be able to defend myself while you're out there defaming me and lying about me. So what I want to say thank you for is helping show this community how far bigotry actually does run rampant around here. Because ever since that day happened, you have so many of these type of people that have been so out and proud about defending the usage of the N-word under the First Amendment. Here's the thing, there's right and wrong, right? It is clearly wrong for someone to use that type of language. It's just wrong. So there's no reason to defend it for any reason. You can chastise it, you can tell Mr. Galecki, hey, We don't appreciate that kind of language in this government public meeting. That's all you had to do, or you could have just said nothing and gone on to the next agenda item. But I think you knew that you were going to upset me, and so you defended it under the First Amendment. So congratulations, you played me. You got me right there. But what you did is you played yourself because of how big this has blown up. You know what I find very interesting, Patrick, is the amount of support I received from Republicans in this community. Not these extremist MAGA Republicans. The ones that don't come out here and screech and be loud and disrespectful. The ones that are the actual silent, majority, not the loud minority. There's a lot of support from them. And here's the thing with, you try to bring up me using the N-word in a rap song 8 years ago, all right? I'm black. It's different. As Eddie McAllister stated, keep laughing, man. This is how it's different. It is different.
It is different.
Did you just come up here to just
Address the board, please. Definitely going to address you.
Okay. These snowflakes, right? It's just melting. So here's the thing with tolerance is we've heard of the paradox of tolerance. It means that as a society, we don't have any place. We should not tolerate intolerance. So there's a group of people that don't tolerate people, that hate people based off their sexual orientation, their skin color, anything that they can't help. And then there's a group of people that hate those people for hating other people. And that's the situation that we are in.
Thank you, Nathan.
Hey there, fellow patriots. It's me, Buford White, of White's Fort Gun Shop and Insurrection Supplies Emporium. I'm here today to tell you patriots about a sweet deal that we're having. And you know this is a big deal because you know I never give discounts on anything, ever. Because I'm out for myself. 2 for 1 AR-15s. As the illustrious chair of the Shasta County Board of Supervisors, I need to make sure that all of my fellow patriots are armed to the teeth for when I pass this two-way resolution. I'm gonna make so much money. And when you get your guns, make sure you come visit me over at my new shooting range. Alright, just ignore all of the local houses and the animals and the underground water and Highway 44, but come down and see me and make sure you buy bullets. Let me tell you some more about some of the sweet deals we got over at White's Fort. We got discounts on zip ties, pipe bomb making equipment, reusable rope. We got these little ball peen hammers that are just perfect for smashing through plexiglass that is there to keep the public safe from a global pandemic. It'll smash right through that. White's Fort. Now these people want to say that Supervisor Buford White doesn't care about the community surrounding the gun range. Alright, well you know what? Those people are wrong. Because I will make it my duty to provide every single resident within earshot of my gun range with noise-canceling headphones. Well, anyways, my shipment of grappling hooks is here, so I gotta get going. You stay classy, Shasta County. And remember, vote for everything I say or do no matter what.
Real quick, I'd like to remind everyone that I have a First Amendment right and that this board failed to pass a code of conduct. So with that being said, I'm going to try that in a small town. Patrick Henry Jones, the most dangerous man in Shasta County. Through a campaign of disinformation, intimidation, and blatant lies, Patrick has risen to one of the most powerful positions in the county. He preys on the fears of his uneducated constituents through grandstanding and bad faith arguments. Patrick is a bully. He has used his seat to intimidate and harass many citizens of Shasta County. He even blackmailed a former county employee who then quit. If he is reelected in 2024, he will continue to burn Shasta County to the ground for his own personal gain. Instead of passing useful policies that would benefit the county, he uses his power to grandstand to his base, all while wasting the time and money of the taxpayers who pay his salary. He turned down a grant from a foundation funded by Mark Zuckerberg to build a better, more secure elections office and stated that an out-of-town billionaire has no place spending money on Shasta County politics, all while being funded by an out-of-town billionaire himself. He is the epitome of a hypocrite. Patrick is not a leader. He is a swine, a vulgar little liar, a pathetic, worthless bag of filth. He is a putrescence mass, a walking vomit, and a spineless little worm deserving nothing but the profoundest of contempt. He is a bloody, nardless, proto-hominid, chromosomally aberrant caricature of a coprophagic, cloacal, parasitic pond scum. He is a bleeding fool, a curdled, staggering mutant smeared richly with the effluvian offal accompanying his alleged birth into this world. He is an insensate, blinking calf, meaningful to nobody, abandoned by the puke-drooling, giggling beasts who sired him and then jumped off of a cliff in recognition of what they had done. I cannot believe how incredibly stupid he is. I mean rock-hard stupid, dehydrated rock-hard stupid, stupid so stupid that it goes way beyond the stupid that we know into a whole different dimension of stupid. He is trans-stupid stupid, meta-stupid, stupid collapsed on itself so far that even the neutrons have collapsed, stupid so dense that no intellect can escape, singularity stupid, blazing hot midday sun on Mercury stupid. Perhaps he is some primordial fragment from the original Big Bang of stupid, some pure essence of stupid, so uncontaminated by anything else as to be beyond the laws of physics as we know. If he is in fact not an idiot, he has made a world-class effort at emulating one. We as Shasta County citizens need to excise this mystifying level of stupid from our society. To do this, we can recall Kevin Cry, which will in turn take the power away from Patrick Jones, because of Patrick and his lackeys, Shasta County is the laughingstock of the entire state. The dozens and dozens of articles describing just how stupid things have gotten here are wholly because of Patrick's lack of rational judgment. The state of California is passing new laws simply to deal with Patrick's immeasurable stupidity. If you are a Shasta County District 1 resident, please visit www.recallkevincry.org and find out where to sign. If this does not happen, Patrick and his gigolos will continue to push through policy after policy onto this county with reckless abandonment. Please sign the petition and end the stupidity. Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan.
Okay, first of all, Patrick Jones, I'm not afraid of you, and your little hammer does not supersede my First Amendment. And if you ever try to use law enforcement to remove me from this building because you didn't like something I said, I will sue you into oblivion.
Good.
All right.
If we respect everybody, again, you are doing it again, Mr. Blaze. Deputy, can we escort Mr. Blaze out of the building?
And if you ever try to use law enforcement to remove me from this building because you didn't like something I said, I will sue you into oblivion. 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 You into oblivion.
Y'all dumb motherfuckers want some country music? Let's go do ourselves a little insurrection.
Verbally assault a politician at his workplace. Expose a piece of shit, racist redneck. Point out a gun on somebody at Walmart. You think it's cool, well act a fool if you like. Record a cop scream BLM in his face. Take a Trump flag and light it up. Yeah, bitch, you ain't tough. Cause I tried that in a small town, and no one did a damn thing. Around here we don't give a shit about your dumbass trucks, your little nuts, or how you strut. You racist dumb fucks, guess what? We ain't afraid to try that in a small town. I got rights just like everybody else does. Also got a gun, I just don't wanna fuck it. Well, thank God all these rednecks are little cucks, cause I tried that in a small town, and no one did a damn thing. Around here we don't give a shit about your dumbass trucks, your little nuts, or how you strut. You racist dumb fucks, guess what? We ain't afraid to try that in a small town full of shithead fucks driving lifted trucks. You ain't the only ones with guns, cause I tried that in a small town. Yeah, I tried that in a small town. Cause I tried that in a small town, and no one did a damn thing. Around here we don't give a shit about your dumbass trucks, your little nuts, or how you strut. You racist dumb fucks, guess what? We ain't afraid to try that in a small town. Country music, I tried that in a small town. This song was really easy to make. I tried that in a small town because it required no fucking talent. Cause I tried that in a small town. Yee-hoo! Fuck MAGA. Snowflake bitches. Trump for prison 2024. Fuck you.
Yes, sir, you are very pathetic.
Yes, I know I am.
So this first part is rhetorical, but I was wondering if you three stooges heard about Donald Trump and his co-conspirators being indicted under the RICO Act for election interference. Just asking because I want to know if you're scared. Because if any of you have even a modicum of intelligence, you should be. Not only that, as we all know, Fox News had to pay $787 million to Dominion for false election fraud claims. These are the two sources from where the three of you and your many willfully ignorant supporters got all this election fraud disinformation from in the first place, and now look what's happening to them. You three voted to cancel our Dominion contract based solely off the lies pushed from these entities that you yourselves then pushed onto our community, and in Kevin's case, other communities as well. Kevin, you seem to be very loudly and very publicly in connection with many in the upper echelons of the GOP, and I would even go so far as to speculate that you may have even had direct contact with at least one of the people included in these indictments. What are the authorities going to find on their phones or in their emails? Maybe that's why you, Kevin, decided to cancel your trip to the upcoming election fraud conspiracy seminar. By the way, as you all just saw on the flyer for that event, Kevin Cry and Rudy Giuliani are prominently featured. After Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, and Mike Lindell are behind bars for being the traitors that they are, will you three be next? As the saying goes, crap rolls downhill, and you three are standing at the bottom with your mouths wide open. Thanks to politicians with much more integrity than these three have, at least Shasta County's election systems are safe now. After my speech at the last meeting, which I'm sure you had to Google 90% of, you, Patrick, said, "Thank you, Nathan, for nothing." Well, that nothing has over 1.6 million views, and that's because I am by far not the only one who hates you for what you're attempting to not only do to this county, but this country as well. So to you, Patrick, thank you. Thank you for your lack of self-control, because it's allowed me to expose you to the nation as you truly are, a selfish, corrupt, bigoted little coward of a man and a traitor to this community. And you, Chris. It's clear to everyone here that you're nothing more than a fluffer. Your entire position could be easily replaced by a pair of red and green lights with Patrick holding the activation button in his tiny little hands. You're literally worthless to Shasta County because your only purpose is to give Patrick Jones a second vote, and everyone damn well knows it. You all have talked about legacy. Well, this RICO indictment is a finalizing contribution to the already rectally sourced legacy that you three are going to leave behind. When this is all said and done, you'll be written about in the history books as shining examples of how not to be patriotic Americans. So have fun watching the news, because I sure as hell will.
Thank you, Nathan.
Wow. I imagine everyone here is expecting me to talk about last meeting's kerfuffle, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk about District 4 Supervisor candidate Matt Plummer. I had the opportunity to sit down with him yesterday and have a discussion. He explained some of the things he would do differently as a supervisor compared to the things Patrick Jones has done. He spoke of evenly applying the rules and decorum of the board chambers to all constituents. Time and time again, Patrick has openly discriminated against many who do not agree with him. He continuously allows those he agrees with to speak well over the 3-minute time period, many times even up to 10 minutes. He allows those who agree with him to not only address the crowd, but to belittle, defame, and insult him from the podium without stopping them. But then when someone he disagrees with is speaking or disrupting, he is quick to cut their time right at 3 minutes, chastise them, or unlawfully order them to leave the building. Matt believes that the board itself sets the example for the people out here. When the public sees a board constantly attacking not only each other, but the constituents in the crowd, we are going to follow suit. That acknowledgement is what it means to be a leader. Matt stated that if elected, he will focus on issues that we can all agree on, such as the poor road conditions, housing availability, help for the homeless, opening the 3rd floor of the jail, and making sure that the staff is made to feel appreciated. His plan for retaining county employees is to foster a safe and viable work environment instead of the hostile environment that Patrick has created.
Instead of outright rejecting opposing views or dissent like Patrick is known to do, he welcomes the ability to reach out personally to citizens, especially those in opposition, to gain a wider understanding of issues and what the different types of people's ideologies are founded on, so that he can form a more encompassing understanding of the big picture. He believes that once the county can have a track record of passing things that the majority agrees on, it will lay foundation to be able to more successfully address the controversial or divisive issues. It is my belief that this county absolutely needs someone like Matt Plummer to replace Patrick Jones and get this place back to actual county business instead of the one-sided, ideology-based, self-serving decisions that Patrick keeps bringing to the table. Matt may be our chance to excise the cancer that is Patrick Jones once and for all. The blatant discrimination needs to stop. The abuse and lies need to stop. The conspiracy theories need to be stifled, and the intimidation needs to be called out and quashed. People can disagree, but the constant personal attacks, slander, and defamation are happening continuously because Patrick not only allows it, but engages in it himself. I once asked Patrick Jones for a one-on-one public debate. He told KRCR News that he would not give me 2 seconds of his time outside of the board chambers. Matt gave me about an hour yesterday. Patrick is not a leader, but Matt Plummer is. A vote for Matt Plummer is a vote against Patrick Jones, and a vote for our beloved county to begin to return to sanity. Thank you.
Recently, our community lost a really, I would say, very important member that has been a part of this community for years. Marvellis was, I think, known by the people in the community as a leader, someone who would spend his time dedicating himself to trying to better this community, trying to help people. And I think the impact he had on this community was shown by the response of people who not only searched for him, there were hundreds of people that searched for this man when he went missing. There were people with drones, people with bloodhounds, people with boats in the river, kayaks, just nonstop searching, just social media campaigns. And then finally, when he was found, just the outpouring from the community. I mean, this man was an icon in the community. And the reason for that is because he actually had the best interest of this county in mind. He actually wanted to do things that helped the members of this community at no cost to himself, with no other agenda, with no one else paying him or telling him what to do. And that is why the people loved that man so much. And the reason I bring that up here is because as much as he was an example of how one should be a community member, you, Patrick Jones, you're the opposite of that. That's what you are. You just have things you want to do. You seem so bitter. You just seem so bitter, and you have things that you want to get done based off of ideological ideas, and you're not willing to listen to reason at this point. You just want to do what you want to do, like, appointing John Knight to the mosquito control board thing, like, over someone who is an actual epidemiologist, somebody who is in that field and knows what they're talking about. But John Knight comes up here and says that they are trying to turn mosquitoes into flying syringes to mass vaccinate people. That's insane, but that's who you back, because that's your good buddy. And part of your obvious plan is you want to install people that will follow your agenda and toe your line into these key positions. That's what you want to do, this whole charter county thing. It's just another way, like you said, it goes back to the people, but I did remember watching the last meeting where you said, well, the charter, that can just be written by the board and then voted on by the board majority, right? See, you tell on yourself sometimes what your real plan is, And so I guess I would just say, if you want people to actually remember you and actually have a legacy in any way similar to Marvellis, maybe start giving a crap about the people of this county. Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan.
Hey, Nathan.
Supervisor Garman.
Nathan, real quick. Marv's sister goes to our church, and that was a very hard thing that we've gone through. And I want to publicly thank you for the efforts you put into the searching for him. You were one of the first out there, and you led a huge search effort. And just from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the efforts you put out. And unfortunately, ended up the way it did, and we all suffer for that. But thank you.
Supervisor Rickert.
Yes, and Nathan, I also want to thank you. You spearheaded a huge effort to try and find Marv. It's heartbreaking. I know of different times I talked to him and try and get him connected with city council people to help with his work here, feeding the homeless. He was a true saint among us. He really was, and we should honor his memory. And another reason that when people are in need and when people do need help, that we need to be there for them. So thank you for that.
United States Representative in Congress, District 1.
So this is how long hand counting takes.
Done. So they know that.
All right, only 111,000 more to go.
U.S. Representative August. Whitney Hughes will poll.
This is only under one category. One race.
This is just one race.
Zero undervote. Zero overvote. Done.
And that's with 0 undervotes or overvotes. So that means this was with no mistakes. Do you notice how long it's taken them to hand count all these?
I haven't paid attention.
Of course not. But
I
did you
haven't had
notice?
a chance. We were having a conversation.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to be watching what's going on here. You're supposed to care, right?
We have like 5 hours.
It's taken quite a while for them to hand count all of these ballots. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to slow the process down like that.
150 years they did it.
Yeah, but now we have way more people, and we have technology.
Don't have that many more people.
We have technology now.
Yeah?
Would you want to switch back to a horse and carriage or drive your
like
truck
horses,
around? Yeah, oh, totally, because that's viable. You're so fake, man. Oh, man. You're so big, but I just don't fear you at all. That's crazy. I can't believe you really want people to have to hand count all of these ballots. It makes no sense.
Okay, don't believe it then. I don't care.
Like, why don't you believe in technology?
Absolutely nothing. Nothing.
It should. I'm a constituent.
No, you're not of mine.
Well, I am, though.
You're not of mine.
I'm just not in your district, but I am one of your constituents. And my voice does matter. Whether you like me or not. And guess what? I don't have 3 minutes right now. And you can't just sit there and say nothing. So this is me confronting you, telling you that I think you're doing a terrible job, and that I've lived in this county my whole life. Yeah, and then why are you trying to destroy it then?
I'm trying to keep it away from people like you.
People like me? What do you mean by that?
Exactly what I mean by that.
What exactly do you mean by that?
People that love socialism, communism.
Socialism, communism. Can you even define those two words? I'm not a socialist or a communist. I just want people to have better lives and equal human rights and the ability to vote. But you want something else. You and Patrick Jones, Kevin Cry, you guys do not have the best interest of Shasta County in mind. You have your own selfish interests in mind. That is the absolute truth, Chris Kellstrom.
Yeah, well, I have a bunch of constituents that beg to differ.
A lot less than you think. Tell you that much. Remember the midterms?
Yeah.
Remember that picture with all you holding the brooms? Remember how that worked out? Good luck, buddy. That was all recorded, by the way.
I hear there's Kool-Aid down the rabbit hole, off the deep end, chasing windmills.
First of all, Patrick, thanks again for proving your discrimination once more. They've been yelling out this whole meeting, and then I yell at them once for yelling, and you chastise me? Come on, dude. You're not even trying to hide it. It's so ridiculous. You're such a... I almost swore. I almost swore. It's frustrating. You really frustrate me. So this whole thing stems from Trump's loss. That's the truth. Trump lost, and you guys never got over it.
And because you all thought he was going to win so bad. You guys had your little trucks all over Dana Drive, covered in your stupid flags, Trump 2020, and he lost, and it blew your minds. And then Trump came out and said, well, there was election fraud. And now we're still here. We're still doing that crap because you guys don't know how to admit you lost. Same thing with the AB 969 thing. Fiscally conservative. Yeah, right. Are you kidding me? You guys all say you're fiscally conservative? Bull crap. You want to throw more taxpayer money into the toilet because you can't accept that you lost. You lost the hand count thing. You're a loser, Patrick. Accept it. You are. You're all losers. You lost. And it is law. And now you're going on the news saying that you're going to defy state law. Does that mean I don't have to listen to you and your rules in this room now? Because if you don't have to listen to the state law, why the hell should I obey you? Why should I stop talking when this 3-minute timer goes up? Why would I have to listen to somebody who sets an example of not obeying laws? Why would I have to do that? So, I attended the hand count demonstration, and I think what the elections office was trying to point out, ma'am, who seemed confused back there, was how ridiculous it was, how long it took them to actually sort and hand count all those ballots. Mr. Kellstrom was there, but he wasn't paying attention at all, so I don't really know if he caught any of that. But this whole thing, Patrick, you understand, you know you won't win against the state. I know you know that. But you also know that it will score points with the gaggle of idiots who support you. It's called grandstanding, and you're basically a great value generic version of Donald Trump. And that's what you're trying to be. But you're not. I didn't realize Patrick Jones was such a comedian. Wow. Making fun of his constituents. Isn't that what you were elected to do? That's pretty great, right? I didn't realize you were so hilarious. Anyways, let's talk about a word that has been mentioned in this room so many times today. The Constitution, right? I believe you consider yourself a constitutional scholar because you're so quick to bring up the Constitution when it fits your needs. Because that's a thing that people like you do. You do it with the Constitution and you do it with the Bible. You cherry pick parts of these documents to suit your needs. But you're not an actual constitutionalist. You know why? Because you would understand that you absolutely violated the 14th Amendment. Do you know what the 14th Amendment is, Patrick Jones? I know you're not going to answer, so I'll just keep going. More specifically, Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. That's what I want to talk about. So you appointed John Knight to the Mosquito Vector and Control Board. Did you not? You did. You did it without telling Mary and Tim. You did that. And John Knight has expressed himself that he participated in the January 6th insurrection that hundreds of people have now been jailed for participating in. He's got pictures all over social media. He violated Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which disqualified him for public office. Another interesting part of Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which you should know since you're a constitutional scholar, is if you give aid or comfort to someone who is an insurrectionist, you are also ineligible for office. Did you know that? So I think it could be easily argued that giving your good buddy from Red, White, and Blueprint that you made your whole documentary with, that you talk to on a pretty frequent basis, a job over a much more qualified candidate could be called giving aid or comfort. I don't think there's anybody that could argue with that. So based on the Constitution that you swear by, that you say that you believe in and you live your whole life by, and you're so quick to bring up when someone says the N-word, but you violated that, and it is my belief that you are ineligible for your position right now. Do you not believe in the Constitution? That's what the 14th Amendment says, Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. So why are you sitting in that seat? That's a legitimate question. Why are you sitting in that seat right now if you're such a constitutionalist, but you violated Section 3 of the 14th Amendment? You gave aid and or comfort to an insurrectionist by gifting him a government position. I just want to put this on record because there are ways to enforce that. And I don't know if you understand that.
Thank you, Nathan.
Yep.
You're not a
So you're running for Supervisor District 2, that's my district. So I might possibly be one of your future constituents, so I was wondering if I could ask you some questions.
Sure. Where do you live?
I live up Placer. Yeah, just,
Northwest?
yeah, past near the Cumberland area. Yeah. And so I want to support Suzanne Barrymore, but since you're also running for that position, you might win, and so I want to know who my supervisor is.
Are you recording this right now?
Yeah, it's a public place. Yeah, you're a candidate, you know,
I'm
public
not really
public
interested in
figure.
doing an interview with you, but thank you.
Yeah, well, I mean, what are you running on? You won't talk to a constituent? Well, that's filmed too. All right. So that was Laura Hobbs, sorry, Dr. Laura Hobbs, Supervisor District 2 candidate. And I just tried to talk to her and ask her some questions because I live in District 2. And if she's going to be my supervisor, I want to know some things. And yeah, I was recording because it's a public place and she's running for political office. But as you saw, she did not have the time of day to speak to a constituent who she ideologically disagrees with. So that's the type of person we're looking at with Laura Hobbs.
And to replace it with one that costs $95,000.
All right, good afternoon now. I kind of just am curious which developer possibly made a deal with Kevin to get rid of developer fees. Maybe it's possibly the guy sitting right next to him developing a gun range. So Patrick Jones, you're gone as chair. I think that makes me really happy. You sucked. I'm nicer than Jenny, and I really hope you're not going to suck as bad as he did, Kevin. So I have some ways to maybe help you suck less. If someone says a racial slur, cut their mic. Definitely don't try to justify it with some BS argument about the First Amendment. Some things are just wrong. If we have another global pandemic, maybe don't rip down the safety measures put in place to keep us all alive. 6 million died from that, by the way. Just want to reiterate that for the anti-vaxxers in the room. Maybe don't try to build a gun range right next to the homes of a bunch of your own Republican constituents. Maybe don't try to remove developer fees to help your good buddy and fellow supervisor who is currently developing a gun range. Don't call your constituents domestic terrorists because they just might not let it go. Maybe don't send an email to a reporter for a national news publication telling them to drop dead. Maybe don't try and rally your supporters behind the scenes to plan to come and disrupt the meeting for the sole purpose of trying to piss off a constituent you hate to then justify kicking him out. You guys really did that crap, and boy did it backfire, and I know you did that because all your constituents were bragging about it. Maybe don't use your power as chair to stack the agenda in a way that tries to hide your decisions and votes from the public. Maybe don't organize public comment in a way that monopolizes our entire day. We're not all being paid to come do our civic duty like you are. Maybe don't bring in a bunch of fake experts to try to convince the public of your own personal ideological agenda. There are many constituents who will likely disagree. Say what you want about the color of this county, but based on what we've seen, it's not as red as some people want to believe. This is supposed to be a nonpartisan position, and I, for one, am sick of the majority of this board focusing on themselves and what they want instead of what the county absolutely needs. And when I say county, I'm including all of the constituents who ideologically disagree with you. Maybe if someone offers us a free $1 million with no strings attached to build a more secure elections office, you should take it instead of losing out on all that money due to your own personal ideologies and conspiracy theories. Maybe if there's an agenda item that you have a conflict of interest with, for example, you stand to gain personal wealth, have some integrity and recuse yourself, or better yet, don't put it on the agenda in the first place. If Reverjon Selmo or Mike Lindell sends you an email, maybe have some integrity and ignore it. You shouldn't need any rich guys from out of town to do this job. And lastly, stop treating Mary the way you have been because it makes you look weak and insecure. She's been here. I'm not even going to get into how egregious it is that I think that she's not the chair right now. That's just insane. She's got more time on this board than everyone else up there combined, and it's obvious why she's not the chair, because she's not part of your little group there. Anyways, good luck, Kevin. At least you'll only be in that seat for 3 months.
So the video I'm about to show you guys is my speech today at the Shasta County Elections Commission. You're probably asking yourselves, what the hell is the Shasta County Elections Commission? Well, it is a BS 5-person panel that was created and put in place by our 3 idiot supervisors, Kevin Cry, Patrick Jones, and Chris Kellstrom, to further push their election fraud conspiracy bullshit, except it's its whole little meeting with county council they're being paid, the county clerks they're being paid, and all these people coming to speak and give their opinions in a building that is powered by tax dollars. So I went and I spoke at that meeting today, and this is what I said. So I think this whole thing is stupid and pointless. The fact that we're even having the power on in this building right now to do this makes absolutely no sense to me. I know that you three, Ronnie and Lisa and Bev, strongly supported the recall of Leonard Modi. And now you're up here because you got radicalized by all this election fraud bullcrap. You're not actually helping the county. When you bring in people like this charlatan over here with his little charts and his little graphs trying to convince you that the election was stolen while you go to his little seminars and pay him your hard-earned money is ridiculous. He is making a fool out of all of you. That's what he's doing. And the fact that you're even talking about voter fraud and election integrity, you guys realize that the only time you talk about that is when you lose elections? So how on earth is there only voter fraud when you guys don't win? That is just simple basic logic. Trump said a thing at some point, and you guys were all so entitled and so mad that you didn't win that you just wanted to believe it. It's called willful ignorance. That is what you are. That is what all of you are, is willfully ignorant. You guys didn't complain when Kevin Cry won. You didn't complain when Chris Kellstrom won. There was no voter fraud there. Why is there voter fraud here now? They won despite the fraud. Oh, yeah, no, that's your BS argument to, oh my God. That is, you see, you guys always just make up another thing. Another thing. There's always another thing to say that's not the damn truth. And I am sick of it. I have been coming to these meetings dealing with these idiots for years now. You idiots believing all this crap. I need to believe as a human, as a member of this community for the last 30 years that there is some semblance of sanity left in the people of this community. And I do not see it with this current gaggle of sheep. No, I'm from here. I'm not going anywhere. And you guys know that. You know I'm not going anywhere.
Then please address the commission.
I just was. But they were talking to me, so I was responding. I think I should be allowed to do that. All right. Anyways, that's all I needed to say. And I meant every word of that. You guys are being ridiculous. You're wasting their time. You're wasting their time. You're wasting all of our time. If there is election fraud, actually prove it.
Also includes our duty as officers to prohibit that. And so if you read further down in the code section, it's on your Facebook page, it says that the public officers should not allow it to happen. So that would be our chair's role. Well, so I just wanted to clarify that.
Time.
Your time's up.
She wasn't campaigning.
Time.
She gave her website for her campaign. Don't lie to my face, brother. Do not lie to my face. I am not one of these sheep who believes your bullshit.
We don't care.
No, we're not going to turn on.
Yeah, you do. You all really do. Okay. First of all, I love guns. I love the Second Amendment. I have several guns. I think it's great. I think it's a great way to protect yourself. And if you allow me to be able to concealed carry a weapon in this room, I will also do that, along with anyone else who thinks they can do that. Because as people have said, it is the great equalizer. I believe some people think that the Second Amendment somehow only applies to them or people like them. But no, it doesn't. It applies to everyone. So all these, contrary to popular belief and lots of rumors about me, there is nothing in my past that is prohibiting me from having any firearms or having a CCW. All of their rumors, all their crap, even Lori Bridgeford tried to get my gun rights taken away. She failed at that, very, very harshly, in fact. But I kind of want to talk more about the pattern of this whole thing. So how is it that the things this board is constantly discussing are things that benefit Patrick Jones's business? So he wants everybody to carry guns and talk about guns and buy bullets and build a gun range. Why is everything seemingly to benefit Patrick Jones? I mean, where's everybody going to buy their guns? They're going to go buy them from you. Where are they going to buy their bullets? They're going to go buy them from you. Where are they going to go practice shooting their guns? They're going to go shoot at your range. And that's what this board keeps discussing, is stuff about guns. I'm not saying I have any problem with guns. I've already made that clear. What I have a problem with is this board being used to further enrich Patrick Jones' business projects, because that's all it is.
So I think we're starting public comment. Holy hell.
Blood alone moves the wheels of history. I am sick and tired of people making fun of Kevin Cry. This poor, weak, insecure man has been relentlessly attacked for simply trying to move up in life. He has dedicated his precious time away from his many businesses.
Camera
to make
person.
Sure that his
You gotta go over to the people.
Benefiting from his position as a county supervisor.
Kevin won't even look at
He cares so damn much about his employees that he made the decision to risk his own political career to elevate his business manager's boyfriend to the tax-funded position of highest paid attorney in Shasta County. Talk about loyalty. Friend of the year right here, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin cares about three things: God, country, and family. This was proven by him contacting Mike Lindell to help the poor taxpayers of our county be able to pay for the potential lawsuits filed against us by Dominion for removing their ability to vote, because Dominion also sued Mike Lindell. So Kevin knew that he would understand what it feels like. Kevin is a clairvoyant. He is doing his damnedest to protect us from the demon that is Gavin Newsom. Even though Modoc County had a 4-person board for a year and
made them the creator of all the world's problems.
June of 2022, Kevin somehow knew that Gavin Newsom would most certainly appoint an evil Democrat in his place and not leave it up to the voters of this county, despite the fact that Modoc County ended up electing a 5th member themselves. He just somehow knew that would absolutely not happen here in Shasta County because of his clairvoyance. Kevin is a family man. During the 11 months that he's been a supervisor, he's been able to provide his family a $750,000 home in a gated community in one of the richest neighborhoods in Redding. He knew that even though many of his constituents still live in trailer homes and can barely afford the basic necessities of life, he still asks them for money to support his family. Father of the year. So the next time anyone wants to call Kevin Cry things like a liar or a grifter or a charlatan or a completely unqualified community leader, I want you to do me one favor and think twice. Thank you.
Come on up.
All right, more bullshit from Patrick Jones. So please watch this interview of Patrick Jones on some dumbass, lame, fake MAGA podcast, and then please listen to my commentary afterwards so that I can explain it.
The other big thing for me, and it may be the biggest, is election integrity. We have now discovered the pattern of fraud that took place in that primary, both on Kevin's race and on Chris's race. But we forged ahead anyways, and he forged ahead and was able to beat his opponent fair and square, which looked like a fair competition in the fall. This cheating doesn't cheat; they don't cheat all the time. We believe it's state-sponsored, and I kind of passed on the June 2022 primary. We knew there was problems on that primary. And we certified the results of that from our ROV. But I tell you what, this March, if we detect that there's been cheating and outside influences on any of these races, I'm prepared to not certify those results. We've got to stop this cheating, and it needs to start now, and it needs to start in Shasta County. So for the Attorney General, the Secretary of State here in California, if you're listening, this is a warning. There's not going to be cheating in Shasta County anymore. We're not going to put up with it. We've had enough of it. We want the right, successful person to win. If they work hard, they deserve to win. If they outdo their opponent, they deserve to win no matter what side of the aisle you're on, and that's not what's been happening, and we just have to keep focus on that. And there's a lot of good people in Shasta County. The whole country is watching, and I think if we continue to put pressure, we will fix that issue. Some people simply do not think there's any cheating, and I wish I could be like that. I wish I could not think that there's any cheating and just go along as things are. The problem is once you uncover it, we oversee the elections department. So it's our duty to make sure that it gets fixed. And right now, that's not what I can comfortably say. And so we go into March 5th with quite a bit of, nervousness, not because we don't think we can win and outdo our opponent, but because of cheating. And that, to me, is another thing that we have to definitely fix. So those were two issues. Those are big. Another issue that we are going to address that's very important to me, and I think it's very important for this nation and for our state and our county, is the protection of Second Amendment rights. And I'll have something on the very next agenda for January 23rd. And it surely will most likely make state and possibly national news, but we're going to extend as much protection for the Second Amendment as we can. So I'm looking forward to that, and we're not going to waste any time to get to it.
Awesome. Well, okay, so where do I even fucking begin with this? This is Patrick Jones, the Shasta County Supervisor of District 4. He is the fucking mastermind behind all of the MAGA bullshit happening in Shasta County. But this specific interview, the things he says, he is laying the groundwork to say that there is fraud if they don't have the election outcomes that they want. Because we all know that these people only say that there's fraud when they lose. And he tries to fix that by saying that there was also fraud during Chris Kellstrom's and Kevin Cry's elections. He's even said that there was fraud during his own election. And they only started saying that shit once we started putting it out there that you can't just say there's fraud when you lose. And so that is their bullshit, slimy answer to that. He makes it very clear that he plans on defying the state. He plans on not certifying the election in Shasta County. He also states, this is a thing that is very, very untrue. He states that him and the Board of Supervisors have control and are tasked with overseeing the elections office. That is not true. Our county registrar of voters, Kathy Darling Allen, is an elected official. The elections office is not subject to the Board of Supervisors. And for him to tell people that is, guess what? Another bold-faced fucking lie from these people. No, even if Patrick Jones decides not to certify the results of the election, that does not mean that the results of the election will not be certified. Kathy Darling Allen can just contact the state herself and go around the Board of Supervisors. Because again, these fucking three douchebags do not dictate how everyone else in this county voted. Honestly, everything that I keep seeing from them around here locally has just been the most desperate fucking bullshit I've ever seen. He is so desperate right now. He is so desperate that he is straight up fucking bold-faced lying to everyone in the community. His entire basis of election fraud, this stupid Douglas Frank dickbag, Lex Rex, Alex Haberbush, all these fucking experts base this shit off the Mesa pattern of fraud. Google the Mesa pattern of fraud right now, because the district attorney in Mesa County, Arizona has already debunked this bullshit pattern of fraud. Patrick knows this. Dr. Laura Hobbs knows this. The stupid fucking chick that's interviewing him knows this. But they're saying it anyways because they are so desperate and they don't have anything else to fucking say. And they are absolutely desperately hoping that enough people won't do their research and will simply believe them. I'm not gonna lie, watching Patrick Jones be this fucking pathetic and desperate just brings joy to my soul. It emboldens me and makes me actually see that we are in fact kicking their ass, and they are terrified of losing. And then you'll notice that just out of the fucking blue, he decides to bring up the Second Amendment again. Like that was the next thing on his list. How many more things is Patrick Jones gonna do to prove that all he wants to do is make sure people are buying guns and bullets from his business? This is just another thing, passing the initial bullshit to a resolution, passing the gun range, removing impact fees for him to build that gun range, allowing people to carry concealed weapons in the board chambers. It is all just marketing for Patrick Jones' gun shop. God, how much more do I have to explain this to people? He is a fucking charlatan, and he knows he's probably gonna fucking lose, and he's doing everything he can to get people riled up to help him hopefully not lose, but just in case he does, he's gonna make damn sure that they know where to go buy their guns. And also, to go buy their guns for what? I think Patrick Jones has gotten to the point of such desperation that he is now publicly making threats to the opposition, because that's part of what that is. The main thing is him selling guns, but the other part of it is what all of his customers are going to be buying those guns and bullets for. They're not buying them to go patrol the streets of Reading and keep anybody safe. No, they're not buying guns and wanting to bring guns into the board chambers to make sure that there's no one doing crimes in the board chambers so they can keep the peace. No, it's an intimidation tactic. My God, and it's a very subtle one. It really is. Patrick Jones is not an idiot. I will tell you that much right now. And if anything, that makes what he's trying to do even more terrifying. And I hate saying this, it's the same way that Trump is not an idiot. These are intelligent people. The problem with them is that their ideologies and the basis of their ideologies are completely fucked. So, anyways, I really hope Patrick Jones gets his fucking wish and that his little threat to the Attorney General in the state of California actually garners a response from them in the way that them trying to remove the voting machines garnered a response, and that the governor signed a bill called AB 969 to disallow hand-counted ballots in counties of over 1,000 registered voters. So, it is grandstanding at its absolute finest. And honestly, Patrick Jones, I wish I had an Oscar for you, buddy.